I hope everyone out there is doing well. Sending everyone lots of love and light during these times. And I feel like this is going to be about a full circle moment on your journey. Okay. So there may be little things that you have been noticing on the course of your journey, on the course of your mission. And this is where you really return home. The journey to return home after a huge full circle moment. Okay. So I'm gonna let Tribe come on in. And yeah, we're gonna deep dive into this energy. Shout out to the Soul Tribe, shout out to the members. I can't thank y'all enough. So yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting energy reading. Peace to the tribe. And I say that due to a lot of alignments, a lot of synchronicities, a lot of things that were occurring leading up to this. Okay, so leading up to this moment, you may have had a lot of responsibilities. You may have had a lot of obstacles. You may have had a lot of tests, but you are here. You made it here. Okay, you made it to your destination. You made it home. You're returning back to yourself. You're getting comfortable with yourself. You're learning to love yourself. You're learning to value yourself on a whole nother level. Okay. Shout out to the tribe. Shout out to the members. Shout out Melina. Shout out Dectrick. Shout out the Corilo. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Again, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you feel called to subscribe, I suggest you do. We're going to do a thorough breakdown of this energy. Okay. So this energy will be occurring on 3:30, right? So it will be, we're kind of feeling it right now, right? We've been feeling this call to return home, this call to return back to our hearts and really emit that light from within ourselves, right? And like I said, the journey may not have been easy, but you did it. But we did it. Okay. I don't even know what that was. All right. So yeah. There yeah, it's like a certain calling, right? You don't even understand, you know, why you've been called to certain things, but once you get through the process of it, you start to realize why you felt the calling, why you were on this mission, why you are the way you are, why you think the way you think, why you feel the way you feel, right? Everything slowly starts to make more sense. The more you surrender to yourself, the more you open up to yourself, the more you value every shade, every facet of yourself, right? This is loving your shadow. This is integrating that shadow work. This is loving your light, integrating the light. This is really viewing yourself as you are without judgment and really just authentically embracing yourself regardless of what circumstance, what era you're in, what timeline, right? What setbacks, right? What bad experiences, right? You have had. All of these things have led you up to this point to make you who you are now. And when you really sit back and observe that, it's really a beautiful process of enlightenment to really get in tune with yourself. Okay, so let's jump into these notes. And yes, so this will be happening on 3:30. I thought that was, you know, the synchronicities, right? And on universal time, it happens at 16:16, right? So that could be a numeric frequency, a numeric code for a lot of us, right? Seeing certain things, seeing certain signs, seeing certain angel numbers, things being in alignment for us after we've made it through these so-called unexpected things or tower moments or things that needed to happen for our best growth, right? So, yeah, it's kind of like things having to fall down for them to be rebuilt. Also, I was picking up on like this trenches energy, like being in the trenches, right? Being in the swamp, being in a dungeon, being in the dark, being pulled into the lower parts of yourself to really embrace it, to really understand who you are, not shutting off that dark side, not shutting off that sadness, right? Really embracing your emotions and filtering through those emotions, okay? And sometimes those emotions have no filter. So you have to just kind of go with the flow of yourself and continue to embrace yourself, okay? So this isn't a sense of constricting yourself because Taurus, Taurus is considered a fixed sign, a fixed earth sign, right? And fix is more so being in a stuck position, right? And I like to think of it as fixed, right? Trying to fix something, right? Because people love to talk about, oh, the negative, right? But I love to give polarity. So it's also breaking free of certain constructs, breaking free of certain ideas, breaking free of certain programming to set ourselves free. And also with that earth element, getting back in tune with nurturing yourself, getting back in tune with loving yourself, getting back in tune with balance, right? Because earth is also seen as a element of materialism, right? The pinnacles, the ground, gems, things that we value, um, like love, like money, like food, right? Nourishment, and all of these other different things. But it's really about making the most out of what you have and not putting so much pressure on yourself to look perfect because we are human and that is an illusion that we're all breaking through at this time to hold up this certain standard of what spirituality looks like, of what sovereignty looks like, of what um a mother looks like, of what a divine masculine looks like, is all of these boxes, all of these what's the word I'm looking for? Not stipulations. What's the word, tribe? Where they try to put you in a box and it's like stereotypes. There we go. These different stereotypes of what it's supposed to look like or what you're supposed to be, right? So we breaking out of these ideologies with ourselves and with others, okay? So it's not about what it looks like, it's about what it feels like to you, right? And getting back in tune with your body and listening to your body and getting back in tune with your senses, right? Because you also may be very sensitive at this time. That's why you may be feeling different sporadic energies as far as anger, as far as aggression, as far as emotional, as far as sexually aroused, as far as super energetic, right? These are all elements of the earth, right? The earth holds all elements, right? Truth be told, right? There's water here on earth, there's electricity here on earth, there's air on earth, there's fire on earth, there's ether, right? So really getting in tune with all of these different shades and facets of this beautiful energy. Shout out to the Soul Tribe. I see y'all in the chat. Okay, yeah, Grand Rising. We came on here early today because I just felt called. I really wanted to do this early. So yeah, it's about just like I said, really getting in tune with what you feel is right and listening to your body at this time. And that is like your first line of defense when it comes to if things resonate or not, because your body most of the time will tell you if something is off, right? If this doesn't feel good, oh, I had a gut feeling, oh, my intuition, right? Those are all signs that are coming from the body as well. Okay. So if you are getting in tune and getting connected with your body, you will feel these things and not feel so disconnected from the body at this time. Okay. Um, so yes, let's deep dive into the notes. And I said it's a full circle moment when it comes to love. Okay. When it comes to self love, right? So, like I said, valuing yourself, knowing your self worth, holding up those boundaries, and having discernment when it comes to certain things that you allow in your energy and that you put out. Because it's all about reciprocating that frequency, right? It's all about the flow, the current of the energy at this time. And that is law, that is karma, right? It's what you put out is what you get. That investment, right? The certain investments that you have made with yourself, seeing a full return on those investments. And this is in all ways. This is spiritually, physically, emotionally, sexually, financially, all ways. It's never just one stream of abundance. It's never just one stream of love. It's never just one way of love, right? It's love of the soul tribe. It's love of work. It's love of what you're doing. It's love with a partner, right? A business relationship, a sexual relationship, love for your family, love for your children, love for your cousins, right? Love for all different things. Love isn't just one thing that you can put in a box, right? Love is infinite, right? God is love, right? It's all of these different expressions of love, and you don't have to constrict your way to how you love yourself as well. Okay. So there will be a heightened sense of thank you so much, Pray Seven, for the super chat donation. I value you so much. Sending you that love and light right back. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Okay. Um, So this is about really getting in tune with those different aspects of love, right? When it comes to yourself, when it comes to others, when it comes to source, right? How's your relationship with source, right? How's your relationship with yourself? How's your relationship with others at this time? How's your relationship with your spirit, right? How's your relationship with your body? Right? Are you in tune with your body? Are you in tune with your emotions? Are you in tune with your psyche? Are you in tune with your sexual organs? Right? Are you in tune with your spiritual mission? Right? Are you in tune with others? Right? And others that you love. And when this is like when you get into telepathy, right? Knowing when someone needs something without even having to ask them if they need it. And if you are in love, right, with this person, or if you have love for this person, you will freely give it to them. Okay. So I'm just speaking from my perspective as a mother. I sometimes instinctually know when my children are hungry, right? So I'm not going to ask them, are they hungry? I'm just going to make them something to eat, some fruit, Oh, thank you, mommy, right? All these good things, right? It's that reciprocated energy, this intuitive knowing because it's vibrating at that same frequency. Okay. So there is many aspects of love, right? Love cannot be defined, right? And everybody has their own idea of love. That's another thing, right? How I may show love to someone may be different from someone else's perspective of love or how they perceive love. And this also goes back into experiences, right? Certain programmings, certain um the lack thereof love, right? Some people never received love, so they don't know what it's like to love or what it's like to give or receive love. So this is, love is very deep. It goes a million directions, but like I said, it's all about your perception and how you perceive that at this time. Okay. um Also, communication is a big thing when it comes to love. Okay, what's your love language? All right. Getting in tune with that at this time and getting in tune with others that you values love language. Okay. So, It's also, like I said, values, right? What do you value, and what are things that you devalue, right? What's something that devalues someone, right? A red flag, right? I don't like that they did that. Some people don't have the same values as you. Some people don't hold up the same standards as you, right? So this is where a lot of us, we get into our authenticity. We get into speaking our truth and staying true to who we are, regardless of what others may value, right? This isn't going along to get along, right? This isn't being a follower, right? Mama always told me, don't be no follower, right? You a leader, right? So really playing upon that energy and really staying firm and holding up them boundaries when it comes to what you value, because those values, those boundaries are a sense of protection. It's divine protection, right? um and also learning when to, we about to go a little deep, y'all. Also knowing when certain boundaries have been held up out of trauma, okay? And it's a polar, it's a two-way polarity when it comes to trauma-based experiences due to help you grow, right? So you have this boundary so you won't get hurt again, right? But also you have this boundary out of fear of getting hurt again, right? So I'm just going to use this as an example. Oh, I'm never going to get in a relationship because I don't want to get my heart broken, right? But you never fully allow yourself to open up your heart to receive the blessings of the divine, right? So you have to learn to balance out your boundaries, especially ones that are rooted or centered in trauma based things, okay? Because those obstacles are really meant for you to conquer, get over, and alchemize at this time. Okay. I hope that's making sense. If it's making sense, drop 111 in the chat. Okay. Cause y'all know I be everywhere and I be having to ground it. But I feel like this is part of the message is we've learned so much on this journey, right? But it is also about not letting those experiences of the past hold you down or hold you back or weigh you down, right? Due to the weight that they hold, right? Some things that we have experienced, they're not lighthearted, they weren't easy, but we went through those things to gain an experience of knowledge and to turn that knowledge into wisdom, right? Now, when you create these boundaries, make sure that you have done the alchemy work to heal yourself first. So that way you're able to receive the full blessing of something that may present themselves, and also use discernment, right? Because we not no fools. We're not gonna let somebody that look like a duck, quack like a duck, act like a duck, come back in our face and tell us they not a duck. No, I know you a duck. Okay. But also looks may be deceiving, right? So sometimes the divine may cloak an angel as a homeless person. Okay. So you need to really, this is where you get in tune with your spirit and really listen to your heart and balance that out with your mind and alchemize it with your mind, right? Balancing spirituality with logic. Okay. Okay. All right. I see the ones. It's making sense. Okay. She ain't crazy. Okay. So yes, things that we value, and these are also possessions, right? Possessions, things that we hold value to, right? So like heirlooms, right? Certain things that have been passed down, right? Spiritually, physically, genetically, generationally, things that we may want to pass down, whether this is wealth and knowledge, um, financial literacy, all these different things that we've acquired on our journey, things that we value, right? It doesn't always have to be something tangible. It could just be an experience. Okay. So, also just being very attentive to things that you value and really get in tune with the root core of why you value these things. Okay. And once that's established, continue to grow, continue to blossom, continue to bloom in that energy if it is rooted in pure love. Okay. All right. I said values, money, and home. Okay, I'm gonna go back to money because money it has its good and its bad, like everything else, right? We here in the 3D realm, in this dimension, we do need money to survive, right? But also we know spiritually, money has no value. It is just an object that can like get us certain things that we may need. But at the end of the day, when we perish, when we leave these bodies, when we ascend, we can't take any of these possessions with us, right? So it's knowing the value of money, but also knowing the value of yourself and knowing that money, you are the money, are the abundance, you are the currency, you are the bag, and it's what you do with your energy that attracts this money, that attract these objects, that attract these people, that attract these bad luck, good luck, all of these different things. It's you. Okay. um so be very attentive to that at this time. Now, the messages I'm giving, this is like a rundown for the next 30 days because that's how long Venus will be in Taurus. And I may just be giving a few people confirmation or reminders at this time as well. Okay. So yeah, I also said this is home. Home is where the heart is, right? So this is really about getting in tune with your heart, getting in tune with your spirit, and fixing things up in the home, right? Fixing things up with your foundation, right? There may have been certain things, certain leaks in the home, certain cracks, certain things that may have been broken, but those are for you to upgrade. Those are for you to pay attention to, for you to upgrade at this time. Okay, for you to fix at this time. Okay. And also never putting too much weight on your shoulders, right? Because some people say, oh, it makes me stronger. All this weight makes me stronger. Yes. But also you don't want to put too much weight on your shoulders because your back can break. Meaning that you put so much pressure on yourself. Now you having anxiety attacks. Now you've entered in a state of psychosis because you feel like you're so strong, right? I'm so strong. I can handle it all. I don't need nobody to tell me nothing. I don't need no help. I don't need no help. I don't need no help to where you break. Okay. So be very mindful and give yourself grace, give yourself patience, and brace yourself, right? Have one thing my spirit team always told me is love on yourself, show yourself love the way how when you get into a new relationship or when you get into a relationship with someone that you love, if you're in a relationship with someone you love, you care for that person a totally different way, right? You show this person a different amount of grace with relationships, friends, family members that you truly deeply love and care for, right? It's some things you'll even let slide, right? That you won't let other people get away with. That's how you need to show your self love and your self grace, okay? Still put that pressure on you, but don't overburden yourself, okay? All right. I said what we consume as well, right? Because Taurus, that's all about the eating, right? They love to eat, so called. Okay. Where the Taurus is at in the chat? Can I get some confirmation? Okay. Do all of my Tauruses love to eat? Okay, do y'all love a good meal? Do y'all love a good snack? Y'all love a good dessert? Because I know I do. All right, my Venus is in Taurus and I got it bad. Okay, I be having to catch myself because I'm really a fat girl at heart and I just be chowing down on everything, right? I've been craving this and craving that. And I'm like, hold up, I can't, we don't want no big back, right? We want, but find a balance with what it is that you truly want and what you truly deserve at this time. But it's about what you consume, right? So being very mindful of what you're consuming, being very intentional about what you're eating, right? As we know, there's a lot of things that have been tampered with. So you really want to make sure that you are doing the best that you can to stay in optimal health at this time. And one of my favorite things to say is consumption isn't just about what you're eating physically with your mouth, right? It's about what you're absorbing with your eyes, right? The windows to your soul, what you're allowing your eyes to consume, because that goes directly to your brain, right? That goes directly into your subconscious, right? Also, what you allow yourself to consume with your ears. So, what are you listening to? Right. So this is where we get into programming ourselves, reprogramming ourselves. Because if you're listening to, let's say, someone argue and fight all the time, right? That becomes a sense of a standard. That becomes a sense of that's your norm because that's what you have been conditioned to believe, right? So you really want to, like I said, alchemize that and get into some healing frequencies, um, real instruments being played or beautiful, loving vibrations, the sound of nature, the sound of water, grounding yourself, all of these different things to really help alchemize that and really be mindful of what you're consuming. Okay. Each hole is a portal. Okay. All of these holes on your body are portals. Your skin is a portal, right? We have pores that open and close, right? Our mouths, right? These are portals, that things we allow in our mouths and things that we say outside our mouths can change frequencies, change dimensions, right? It's a ripple effect, the butterfly effect, right? Also, what we inhale with our nose, right? Things that we're breathing, right? Right? Things that you smell, aromatherapy, right? That can take you into a whole nother level, a whole nother layer, right? A sense of nostalgia, right? You smell something your grandmother used to cook, right? Certain senses being activated. Um, Also being careful about what you inhale, right? Certain chemicals that can obstruct certain neurons in the brain, right? If if we taking it there, spirit wants me to really give it to y'all raw. Okay. So if someone is trying to, do bad things to you, they may put a something that's going to knock you out, right? And you are inhaling that, right? And then you pass out. So this is where you get in tune with things that you're consuming. Also your crown, right? Being mindful of things that you allow in your brain, allow in your psyche, on your crown, right? Things that you're laying your head on, things that you put on your head, right? This makes me think of MIA. She just had those do rags that have the metal to protect your brain from being red. This She dropped these a couple years ago, and I love that. Right, the tinfoil hats, right? Turn to the crown of knowledge. Shout out to VDL. But this is really about protecting yourself, right? Protecting your crown, protecting your peace, protecting your heart, okay, and protecting your portals, right? Because like I said, if we tapping into all the holes, right, the holes are portals. So you be mindful what you're allowing into your portal, sis. Be mindful of who you're sharing that energy with, bro. Okay, be very attentive about that sexual energy at this time because this is about that sacred energy exchange. Okay, as well. That's the act of creation, and you can create things in that realm of that lustful energy and in that loving energy, in that blissful energy, in that love, effect at this time. So be very mindful of what you're consuming and because certain things may consume you. Okay. And depending on what it is, you may not want to be consumed by it. Okay. So, yes, what we consume and how we work. This is a fulfilling time. Okay. And feeling, thank you, Spirit. Feelings, right? Feelings. Oh, my feelings were hurt, right? Also, feeling is something that you put inside of something, right? Like cream filling, right? The icing on the cake, feeling, right? So, this is something that's going to fulfill you, right? Then you should be fulfilled. You should be feeling right now, you should be feeling super proud of yourself. You should be feeling super charged up and like you've accomplished major goals, right? You should be feeling like this beautiful return call to home due to all of the accomplishments that you have achieved, due to all of these milestones that you have completed, due to you getting things done that they say couldn't be done. Not a sense of fulfilling the ego, but out a sense of fulfilling the spiritual mission that you've been sent here to concur, that you've been sent here to conclude, that you've been sent here to complete at this time. Okay. So you should be feeling divinely nurtured at this time. Okay. And yes, there will be ups and downs. Like I said, we are still human beings, but overall, you should feel this warmth in your heart, this warmth in your spirit. Like, damn, I've done a lot, right? I am the generational healer. I'm the generational cure. I've done a lot of things to get here, and I'm proud of myself. Okay. So that should be the overall feeling of this energy. And it really does feel like love of self, right? And divine nourishment, divine love, divine union with yourself first. Okay. Um, I said the feeling, the icing on the cake. This should be sweet moments after a long, um, strenuous battle. Okay. So there may have, like I said, there may have been a certain struggle. There may have been certain things that you've been overcoming at this time. But after you've climbed that mountain, okay, you may have had weights on your back, ankle weights, a backpack, lifting weights, trying to carry somebody else. You realize you can't carry dead weight, right? Because you see other people around you walking up the same mountain. You got to get up and go get it, right? Being that go getter, having that determination, having that inspiration, having that motivation to get these things done. And when you finally start to get to the peak of the mountain, overcoming whatever obstacle, whatever um, things you have been going through, right? You realize it was all worth it, right? And now I can finally breathe. I can finally have that sigh of relief, that moment of clarity from all of the things that I have overcome, and just really being fulfilled internally from the self work, the self love, the self discipline that I've had on this journey, okay, on this mission. Okay. I said, victory is here. Okay. Justice is served by the universe because you're getting back in tune with yourself. You're getting back to self. And I say that because there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of things that want to take us outside of ourselves, right? Want to give power to things outside of ourselves. But if you've really been reflecting and doing the work, you really been getting back in tune with yourself and knowing that you are powerful, you are strong, you are love, you are the abundance, right? Those positive affirmations. You really haven't been letting the distraction or the destruction of the world falling, right? The world, the sky falling, right? Knowing You've been doing the work to know that you are the power. You are powerful. You're activating your power. And there's nothing that can take away your power because it's yours. Okay. That is the reward. That is the victory. You've been doing a lot of alchemy work to get back in tune with your power. You've been doing a lot, going through a lot of isolation to get back in tune with your power. You've been cutting a lot of people off, and letting go of a lot of things to reinstill and reassure that sacred power that lies from within you at this time. So, this is where you just really give yourself a big round of applause, because there are many people who don't have the spiritual fortitude to go the length that you have went through, to have the discipline that it takes to get here, to love yourself, right? Some people hate themselves and they don't even know that they're at war with themselves, right? The enemy is the inner me, right? And some people don't realize that. So for us to do this work and hold ourselves accountable and look in the mirror, not to boost our egos, look in the mirror to see our true reflection, to see our shadow, to see our soul, to see the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, right? And to not change for the better and admire those things from within ourselves, to realize it was us. It was us all along. It's you who you have been looking for. It's you who you have been waiting for. That is the power. Okay. And when you get back into it yourself, that's when these powers activate. That's when that clarity of your mind activates. That's when the clarity of your heart activates. That's when you start to open up to yourself, open up your mind, open up your heart, open up your body to nature and to nurture yourself again on a deeper level. Okay. So, yes, that's what this getting back to self and feeling fulfilled and feeling love energy should feel like. It should feel like bliss. It should feel orgasmic within yourself first. Okay. And I know everybody's at different levels Some people may be feeling like sporadic bursts of this energy. Some people may be pushing through certain things to get to this, but just know, keep going. Take it one day at a time. Take it one step at a time. One step is better than no steps. Okay. All right. So, getting back to self, you should be feeling more yourself after a long winter. Okay. So, yeah, that winter, woo, that winter, that solstice, that underworld energy really pulled a lot of us into the deepest, darkest pits, parts of ourselves, of our soul, of our subconscious to reveal them, to see what is really hidden in the shadows. And it's just myself, it's just my trauma, it's just old programming, it's just my fears, right? And once you face that and acknowledge that, oh, I could sit hand in hand with my shadow because I need my shadow. My shadow holds memory, my shadow holds weight. And I can, it's the yin and the yang, right? It's doing that sacred dance with yourself and not being afraid to elevate, not being afraid to accept yourself as you truly are, not this fake facade, not what it's supposed to look like. No, this is who I am. Okay. So, yes. So you should be feeling more yourself after a long winter. Um, this is the ice melting, um, and you really releasing and reflecting at this time and surrendering to the inner flow. Oh, surrendering to enter the flow of yourself, right? Surrendering to yourself, right? That for me, whoo, that's a whole thing. Okay, let me break it down. We could be going through certain changes and resisting the change. We could feel certain things, we could see certain things, we could know certain things, right? And we'll fight it. For me, I have no problem acknowledging, when I'm wrong. I have no problem realizing that there needs to be a change. I have no problem knowing when I'm going through an upgrade, knowing when I'm going through a shift. But for me, the one of the hardest parts is surrendering, right? I know it's going to be turbulence. I could see the storm coming a mile away, right? I could see the abundance coming in a mile away, right? But I have to surrender. I have to let go of that control to fully receive what it is. And by surrendering, meaning not having this idea of what it may look like, right? These expectations of what it should look like, because it's that only pulls in and constricts this amount of abundance or these blessings or these lessons that are supposed to come in, right? So this is really just surrendering and allowing it to flow in the way that it's supposed to. That way you get everything it is that you truly need without um expectation, right? My ears is ringing. Y'all gotta excuse me. I just got a very high pitch ringing in the ears. Okay. So yeah, just I guess I'm on point with that, right? Surrendering, 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 right? Cuz we know, but sometimes we have to release control. Release control to receive, release to receive, and then surrender. Whatever the outcome is, right? This makes me think of, ooh, spirit, why? Why? This makes me think of when I was trying to hold on to an old relationship that was done, right? I know it's done. I know it ain't no get back. I know it ain't. So let it go and surrender. And once I surrendered, I freed my heart. I freed myself. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable with yourself as well. All right. That's your truth. It's okay to speak your truth. Okay. You set yourself free every time you speak your truth. All right. Um surrendering to enter the flow. Also, this is where the ecosystem will be speaking as we're talking about this Venus entering Taurus energy. This is its this is where Venus is home, right? This is where Venus resides in, right? It's that Taurus energy. And this is also about, like I said, Earth, right? And this is where the ecosystem starts to speak, right? So, like I said, we've been talking about the animals, we've been talking about the insects, we've been talking about um everything, how we feel, how the earth, we've been talking about space, we've been talking about the water, we've been talking about aliens, we've been talking about ancestors, we've been talking about everything. But this is really, a part of the ecosystem. We are a part of the ecosystem, and the ecosystem will be making itself very, very clear. It will be heard, and she will speak louder than ever these times when spring, right? Spring has sprung, right? I went for a beautiful walk the other day. All of the flowers are blooming. They're bloomed already, right? So I'm like, wow, this. And during winter, it was all green, right? I see no flowers. So this is the ecosystem. This is all part of the cycle, right? The ecosystem, the ego cycle, right? Breaking cycles with the ego of what things are supposed to look like and getting in tune with what your heart feels at this time. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. So I said the ecosystem is speaking. This is where things go from green to blue. Okay. And I say that because I've been picking up on these colors, these color frequencies a lot. And I feel like it's okay. Everybody loves to talk about 5D, 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 right? New earth, heaven on earth, right? The green heart chakra, heart. Well, when do niggas upgrade? Like, when do you activate the higher heart chakra? Like, when do you go up a level? Like, if you mastered the heart, if you master love, what's next? Like, don't you go up another level? Like, don't the lights change? The light can only stay green for so long. The light can only stay green for so long. When does it go up to the next level? Right. And when I think of that, this is higher heart activations. And a lot of people don't know about the higher heart activations, the light body activations, the um Metatron, Melchizedek, right? People love to talk about the order of the green light, but it's also a blue light order, right? It's also that divine masculine energy once you balance out your heart, right? Once you get in tune with the masculine and the feminine, you go up a level, and that is that blue area. That is your throat chakra, right? And also it's like this soul resonance energy, because I love to think that souls and spirits, orbs, they always have this like blue hue, this light blue color to them, like the sky, right? So called the sky, whatever. So it's this upgrade, it's this heart upgrade that a lot of us are going through right now. And it's blue, it's going from the green to the blue. We're going up a level, right? And this is that crossroad energy, right? Because the heart is the crossroad for the higher activations. It's the bridgeway for the higher chakras. And if you can't like, the heart chakra is one of the most hardest chakras to fully activate and get past to go up to the next chakra, because there's so much things that people have to heal and get over and alchemize and be and surrender to go up to that next level. Okay. And I feel like that's what a lot of people here on this realm have been experiencing is activations of the heart. And that's why so many people, they decease due to heart attacks, due to trauma, due to issues, due to their heart being broke, due to them not loving themselves, due to them not knowing who they are, right? This all stems back to the heart, and the heart gives out on them, versus certain people who do the work to alchemize the weight of the hearts, right? Keeping their heart as light as a feather. And then you're able to ascend or descend, right? Because this descending isn't a bad thing either, right? I like to think of it as, if we're on a globe, if we're on a round earth or whatever, if we float in space, which way is up, which way is down? It ain't no sense of direction, it ain't no sense of time, right? All of that stuff is an illusion. So you really have to just really get back in tune with yourself as we go through these changes in our light body, our Merkaba, our auras are expanded at this time. Okay. So yes. That's what that green to blue. Okay. I don't know. That might even be like a color you might start seeing a lot is a lot of blue things. But that's just something I've been feeling. It's like this green to blue, this teal, right? It could even be like this mixing of the two colors. But it's just an upgrade. Overall, it's essentially a spiritual divine upgrade at this time. Okay. Green to blue, breaking through old habits to embrace this upgraded you. Okay, so like I said, a lot of us have been breaking through a lot of old things and releasing and surrendering to embrace and embody this upgraded sense of self, to embrace this new essence that has always been within us this whole time. Okay, it was always in you. You're just remembering. That's why you're remembering so many things. That's why so many things are being activated. That's why you're having so much nostalgia, so much deja vu, so many different dreams, right? Encountering old people that you haven't seen in over 10 years, 20 years is due to you remembering. It's this ancient remembrance that is being restored from within you at this time. Okay. So yes, shout out to Sleuth. I see you. You said this. I've been seeing hella butterflies here in Southern California. Yes, the insects, they're speaking to us. Okay. So take note. And they just like your aura. Okay. They really like your aura if any insects do come to you at this time, because you know they don't see the same way that we see. They can see UV light, they see color totally different, they see frequencies, they see they go off of pheromones. So if you have a lot of insects that are attracted to you right now, yeah, look, clock it. You that one, okay? So yes. Um I said everything will be getting an upgrade. Dare I say it? Are we speaking those positive affirmations and manifestations and commanding our reality? Yes, we are. Everything will be getting upgraded. Okay. And upgrades sometimes they feel like a downgrade. Okay. Because in order for you to get to this new place, right, you have to pack up the old things in your old house. And some things you realize, I haven't touched this in 20 years. Maybe it's time to throw it away. Maybe it's time to let it go, right? Because I know when I get to this new place, I only got so much room. Certain old things can't go, certain old people can't come. Okay. And even old identities with yourself, things that you used to identify with, can't come. That's all part of the upgrade. That's all part of the ascension. That's all part of the descension, right? Because you got to really get in tune with yourself. And how do you do that? You have to go in, you have to deep dive within yourself, you have to descend into yourself to really see yourself. That way you can really view things from a different perspective. Okay. So yeah, I say everything will be getting an upgrade. You'll be getting an upgrade with love, right? Whether this is with yourself, with people, with a partner, with new love, with all things, right? A new love for something, right? A new passion, a new habit, right? Due to you breaking old habits is to form new habits. And sometimes that looks like a process, right? But if you've been consistent with yourself, then it will be easy. Okay. All right. There will be an upgrade on abundance, right? So there is going to be an abundance of things like money, opportunities, people, um, unexpected things. There's just going to be an abundance of everything that starts to flow in. So always allow yourself to receive things as they truly are. What's that saying? If somebody shows you or tells you who they are, you better believe them, right? Don't, don't try to obscure your own vision by what you want to expect or what you expect or expectations, right? You really want to view something for what it is. That way you can really receive it for what it is. Okay. All right. Um, I said your values will be upgraded. Okay. So things that you value, taking it up a notch, right? You've been, oh, I wanted to do this, do this, do this, do this, right? You finally did it. Okay. So what's the next level? All right. Boom. Setting a bar, raising a bar, right? So that way you can continue to grow. You don't never want to stay stagnant. right? You don't never want to stay stuck. The only thing that is constant here on this realm is change, right? And that is for us to evolve and grow. Okay. Um, Also work, right? Work will be upgraded. So the way how you work, right? The way how things work for you, right? Even your sense of work, right? Your idea of work. Whether you're working a 9 to 5, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you working with the collective, whether you're working on your soul mission, working on yourself, right? See, y'all see how your girl do is different perspectives of work, right? Work isn't just something that you dread, right? Work is what you make it. So making the most out of what it is that you're working towards, goals that you're working towards at this time. Okay. All right. And those were my channel notes. I really want to get into the chart and talk about some alignments that I thought stood out to me. And the main alignment, like I said, this is Venus in Taurus. And not only do we have Venus in Taurus, we have Uranus in Taurus, and Uranus is about to go into Gemini. Okay, so that that in itself is a big change, right? Because Uranus stays in a sign for 7 years. And like I said, there may have been certain things when it comes to your values of yourself that have changed over the course of the 7 years. So, if we can, I would love for everybody to think back to 2019. What were you doing? How was your mind frame? What were some things that you valued? How did you value yourself? What was your relationship like with yourself? What was your relationship like with things, people? Okay, just sit in that energy. And even after we get off this live, I would love for a little homework. Come back to this space and place and time where you were in 2019 and write down all of those things that you felt, all of those things that you've seen, things that you value, your self worth, your self love, relationships, right? And then pull yourself into each year, right? Each change, right? As the year started to change, what is something that changed within you, right? What were some experiences, like I said, good and bad? Because if you really look at those bad experiences, those are the things that change you for the better today. Those were the wake up calls. That was the red flag that caught your attention to wake your ass up, okay? And really this goes back to self-love. Self-love. How did your relationship with yourself and self-love change from 2019 to now? Okay? So that's that 7-year cycle when it comes to Uranus. And there is a big change within your values. Peace, Grandmaster Babe, peace, brother. There was a big change within your values from that 7-year cycle. So this isn't just like I said, a 1 year thing, a 2 month thing, a fling, right? No, this is something that you have been working with yourself over the past 7 years, and something you have way more wisdom, you have way more knowledge, you have way more strength, you have way more intelligence, you have way more love for yourself. You value yourself on a whole different level than you did in 2019. Okay. So I just want y'all to think about that. Okay. Um, But I said with these two alignments in Taurus, this is the end of an old cycle when it comes to love. and going back into that love, right? Like I said, love isn't just something sexual. Love isn't something that's just lustful or vain, right? Oh, I love myself, right? But you don't love yourself on when you look like shit. You only love yourself when you got all your makeup, your hair done, your clothes, your J's, your chains on, right? No, this is loving yourself authentically. Even if you stripped everything away, would you still love yourself? That's the type of self-love that I'm talking about. Being in love with your spirit, being in love with who you are and not what it looks like. Okay. And not only when it comes to self-love, because it's not just about your self-love, right? But how you love yourself does reflect out a full circle moment when it comes to partners. Okay. So this is Soul Tribe. Like I said, I broke down all the levels and layers of love earlier, right? But I just really want to get this point across. There's a new cycle of love that is starting here for you because you've been pouring in the work into yourself, right? Not just working out, right? Not just dressing your vessel up to look nice. No, this is real deep internal work that you have been doing to change the alchemy process in your brain, to change the neurons in your brain, to change the way that you think, the way you eat, the way you walk, the way you work, the way you love, the way you move. That all comes from you having discipline, you retraining your subconscious, and doing the inner work that it takes to elevate. Okay. And that's when these new partners come in. Okay. Whether it's business partners, whether it's friendships, whether it's opportunities, whether it's um, loving romantic partners, because that is here too. It's all here for you. Okay. Things, like I said, things that you value, it's an upgrade in that. It's an upgrade in how you work, right? Working smarter and not harder, right? So it's all of these things being upgraded at this time due to the work that you have been putting in. Okay. And also, it's a bit of mystical, magical, unexpected, divine interception here as well, right? There will be miracles, there will be um, certain things that you didn't expect in a good, positive way happening too, right? Due to this karmic retribution, this karmic abundance, this divine love, this divine interference. That can happen too. There will be acts of miracles, right? Something you can't explain just happening. For things falling in your lap, things falling in your hand, downloads, crown loads just coming in. Oh man, that was a great idea. I don't know where that came from. Write it down. Right. Oh, I had a dream about this and had a dream of seeing. Write everything down. Okay. Because you're getting these things for more than one reason. Okay. Even if you don't understand it now, it will make sense later. Okay. Okay. So I said this is the end of an old cycle when it comes to love and self love. Okay. Things and people. This may happen abruptly, just out of nowhere, unexpected surprises, shocking events, right? You may fall in love unexpectedly. You may get a business opportunity unexpectedly, right? One of your old family members may come up and pop up on you unexpectedly. Your neighbors inviting you to something unexpectedly. Soul tribes, they already got everything. Just come on right now, pack your bags, right? Unexpectedly, right? Things falling apart unexpectedly. Unexpected problems, right? Because it's not just, oh yeah, it's money. Venus is all about love and money, right? But it's a polarity, right? This could be breakups, right? To get it in tune with yourself. This could be spending money, overspending money, right? Because, oh, it's loving money. But you can also spend money too, right? And sometimes I know I can be impulsive sometimes. I'm going to keep it 100, right? Book this trip right now, right? Oh, the flight canceled. God damn it, right? So being very mindful of when you're in these emotions, when you're in the flow of these things as well. Because Venus, oh, it's love and money, right? But it could be a sense of getting your heart broke to get back in tune with loving yourself, right? It's not just, oh, I'm going to have so many partners to choose from, right? And money, 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 money. It's going to be so much money coming in. Well, you could also be spending a lot of money, losing a lot of money as well. Y'all, I'm not on here for no fake bullshit. I'm going to give it to y'all the real, okay? Like I said, it's unicorns, roses, and fairs, but it's also us defeating certain lower vibrational entities as well. Yeah, we in the dark shadows of this shit too. I'm gonna give y'all the real deal holy feel, okay? It's not gonna be all glamored up. And Venus entering Taurus is all about love and money, everybody. And you're just gonna get, and you get love and money, and you get love and money. But you also know you ain't getting that love and money if you ain't put in no work for it. You also know it ain't gonna be no miraculous miracle events if you ain't done no miraculous miracle shit either. Okay. I'm just giving it to y'all for real. All right. So be mindful of that. This could be a time where you're wanting to overspend. Yeah, niggas just got their taxes. Okay. You're overspending. You done gave it all away already. Be mindful of what you're doing, bro, sis. I'm not saying don't treat yourself. I'm saying be mindful, be intentional. All right. You've been celibate for 5 years. You finally found the one. Be careful. It might be a succubus. Be careful. Discernment is key. Make sure you get in tune with all of your spiritual practices at this time, because all of these energies will be extremely heightened. Okay. Okay, now. Don't say I didn't warn you, because everybody else just gonna talk about love and money. Love and money. You're gonna receive so much love and money. That's what Taurus is. It's all it is. It's nothing else. You crazy? Okay. It's that too, but it's a polarity to everything. It's good and bad to everything. And I look at it from a realistic point of view. Okay. Holistic point of view. Shout out to Sister Myra. Okay. All right now. So yes, we have Venus at the 0 degree, and we have Uranus at the 28th degree in Taurus. So tapping into your unique values to grant you access to your unique opportunities. Okay. So if you've been staying true to who you are, right? On your mission, working in your purpose, operating from your heart, doing the shadow work, this will set you up for unique opportunities, unique blessings, unique people just like you, right? Let's say I'm doing something I don't like to do. Okay. I'm just going to say, I don't know, for instance, let's say I'm just working a job as I don't know, a plumber. Okay. We're just going to say I'm a plumber, right? And I'm doing this job because it makes me money. Now I love money. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But me doing this job, I'm the best plumber, out. So it sets me up to do more buildings, to do the plumbing in the buildings, right? Because that's what I'm doing. Versus if I do something that I love to do, right? Which is something that I'm doing right now, being a oracle, being a astrologer, astronomer, a jeweler, an artist, all these other things, right? By me being in my unique, authentic self, it sets me up for unique, authentic opportunities, aka people wanting to invite me to events to speak about astrology. Okay, if I wasn't being in my authentic energy, I wouldn't have that unique opportunity. Right? So whether it's you liking Pokemon cards And you've been collecting Pokemon cards for over 20 years because you had a feeling Pokemon cards was going to be the shit in the future. Lo and behold, they got Pokemon tournaments now where you can come in, do all of those. They got all of these Comic Cons and all of these things now. Now you that places you in a unique space to shine your unique light. A unique spotlight will be put on you due to you tapping into unique values, unique way of loving yourself. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Shout out to the tribe. Okay. So, yes, tapping into your unique values grants you access to unique opportunities, because if you're not operating in your authentic frequency, you can't open up the door to these unique opportunities. You operating in your heart. Your heart is the key to open up these unique doors, these unique gateways, these unique portals that you step into by being your authentic self. Okay. With work, jobs, and money, tech, crypto, investments, love, and self-worth. So that's all the different ways that these unique opportunities will come in. These unique opportunities will come in with work, whatever job it is, whatever business you own, whatever entrepreneurship, freelancer, whatever it is that you do, there's going to be some type of unique opportunity that presents itself to you. Okay. With money, right? If you're into tech, there's going to be unique ways to find money, little loopholes. I don't tell people. I said it's going to be little loopholes with money, people in tech. I hope y'all hear me, because I know y'all know, and y'all been thinking about it. Okay. It's given PPP. It's going to be some type of loophole this time around. Okay. Be mindful. Don't get in trouble. Don't be doing anything illegal. Okay. Crypto investments, certain investments that you made, you'll be having unique opportunities. Okay. Also, with love. Okay. If you've been loving yourself, having a certain boundary, holding yourself up for a certain standard, like I said, saving yourself, celibate, abstinence, that you will meet someone on the same frequency as you. If you are deeply in love with your romantic partner, that love will be expanding if you guys have been working on that love and working on that relationship. And that doesn't always look like every day is fucking rainbows and roses. That looks like a few arguments. That looks like a few disagreements. That looks like a few miscommunications. That looks like apologizing. That looks like agreeing to disagree. That looks like walking away. Right? And am I talking to myself? Can I get some hearts in the chat? Y'all ever been in love before? Has anybody ever been in a relationship and things ain't going so fucking great and you're still trying to work it out with the person because you fucking love them, you care, right? And sometimes, that does look like if somebody keeps crossing boundaries, right? I'm a loving person, but this is the 5th time cheating on me. How many times is you gonna let this person cheat on you? It might be time to let them go. There's certain lines we don't cross. We don't stand for abuse physically in any way. Sorry, y'all, trigger warning for people who've had toxic relationships. And this ain't just love. This ain't just sexual, right? I'm talking about you got a friend, so-called friend, family members, right? Your damn dog that been abused. Now every time you go to walk up to them, they barking at you. Okay, they're traumatized. Okay. So this is different levels and layers of love, y'all. It don't always love, like I said, love don't just fit in one type of box. It don't work like that. That's not reality. It's not always a fairy tale princess and the prince come to save the princess out the castle and they live happily ever after. So you mean to tell me they didn't have not one argument? Not saying that, love can't be, seamless, right? There are certain things, but you mean to tell me? She was like, I want my porridge hot. And he said, well, I made your porridge cold today, baby. I thought you wanted something different. Try to give it something different. We've been having porridge for same 50 years the same way. You don't want nothing different today. Okay. So this is about finding balance with love, switching it up sometimes, right? Yeah, I'm speaking because shout out to the marriage couples, shout out to people who've been in relationships over a decade still together, right? My mother and father have been together for 37 years. They've been married 14 years, and I've seen a real display of love that I'm so thankful that I got to witness, because it is rainbows and sunshine, and sometimes it's thundering and lightning and storms. It's all of that. But through it all, they always stuck together. Okay. So I'm able to speak on that because I've seen it firsthand. Okay. So yeah. And if you know, you know, right? You ain't even gotta be together with somebody 15, 20 years. This nigga ain't it. She ain't got it. I'm not doing this. I'm not about to do this for 15. No, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. I love y'all. Y'all know I ain't got it all sometimes. But anyway, this is about love, true love, right? Real love, right? Okay. I hope I gave y'all polarity on everything when it comes to love. Okay. I hope y'all got the picture. Okay. And yeah, this is about self-love too. So this is for people who getting out of relationships, who want it better for themselves, and not a sense of shallow things, right? Like I said, getting out of certain relationships because y'all had different beliefs, different views, whatever the case may be, and you just pouring into yourself, right? Or also receiving new love, right? Someone who is compatible with you, someone on the same frequency as you, someone who understands you. It's all that. It's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever you allow yourself to receive at this time. Okay. Okay. So I said, yes, investments in love, self love, these all open up the door to the new pathway you are walking on and walking into. Okay. There will be a huge ripple effect at this time. Okay. Also, I was picking up on Ripple. So I don't know if that's a thing. I was picking up on like crypto, Ripple. I'm not big into crypto or what is that, the blockchain or stocks. I just know a little bit, but I just kept picking up on Ripple. So if you know, you know. All my techie people, all my big, go do some research and come back with some receipts for me if your girl help you hit. Okay. But yes, I said they're all opening up the doors for a new pathway that you are walking on and walking into. This will be a huge ripple effect. This will be a huge butterfly effect, cause and effect due to your actions. Your actions is your karma. Okay. I feel like that's pretty self explanatory. Don't be stubborn to change because the actions have gotten you here, or the lack thereof your actions. Okay, so things that you do, things that you don't do. Okay. I'm seeing Spider-Man. I'm seeing Spider-Man in the elevator when that man stole the money, right? And he was like, "Thanks." And he was like, "That's not my problem." He was like, "He's stealing my money." He said, "That's not my problem." And went down there, and his Uncle Ben got killed, right? Due to his lack of his actions. He could have stopped him, but he didn't. Why? Because he was operating off of anger, off his emotions, right? Instead of doing what was right, right? Just my opinion. That's what spirit gave me. That's the vision I seen, right? So what you do and what you don't do helps set you up for certain opportunities as well, right? So let's say you're settling for less, right? You can't take that bigger opportunity because you settled for something less, right? You can't be double booked because you booked a lower paying job, right? And depending on where your heart resonates with, you might be okay with taking that lower paying job because it makes your spirit feel good. See, it's different in its levels. It ain't always got to be about the fucking money. Okay. So be mindful of everything. And that's why I always say, make sure it's rooted in your heart. That way you don't feel no guilt. You don't feel no doubt. You can't overthink it because shit, I was operating from my heart. I brought in a little bit of logic. I weighed out the pros and cons, but this is centered in my heart. And whatever happens, is going to be a lesson or a blessing. Okay. All right now. All right. So I said, don't be stubborn to the change. And only the things that can block them is stagnation. Okay. Don't be stubborn to the change. The only thing that can block them is stagnation. Don't be stubborn to the change. Remember, I was talking about surrendering? The only thing that can block them is stagnation. That's like a water in a dam. The water can't go through because it's being blocked up, right? Blockages mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, sexually, right? So you got to release some of these things, move that energy, right? Alchemize the energy to let that energy flow through. Okay. And I said that because, Taurus is the bull, right? They like to graze and, these big animals and stubbornness and letting off that steam and they nose, and then boom, they acting impulsively sometimes, right? That they see red. Once a Taurus see red, it's all bad. Once a bull see all red, it's all bad, right? You done forgot about everything. Okay. So don't let certain emotions trick you and trigger you into forgetting who you are, especially if you're working on self-growth at this time. Okay. I hope this making sense, y'all. Don't be stubborn to change. The only thing that can block them is stagnation. Being emotionally unstable. Okay, so make sure you're working out of emotional intelligence and letting those emotions flow. Okay, you said it makes absolutely sense. Okay, good, because mine just be everywhere. Okay, you and only you have control. Okay, so they made me do it. They, them. No, he, she. This goes back to you and holding yourself accountable. This is how you grow. Okay. You and only you. Anything in your way is a divine experience, a lesson and a blessing, good and bad. Growing and grounding will be good. Lots of energy coming in this 30-day period. Okay. So just be mindful, get outside, get grounded. Like I said, being in nature is going to be a good thing for these next 30 days. It's going to be a lot of things transpiring. And I say that because we're going to have 7 planets in Aries Okay. While Venus is still going to be in Taurus. So that's like wildfire, right? Fire, 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 right? And fire is good or is bad. It's also getting crying wolf, right? So it's going to be a lot of uh false evidence appearing real. So be mindful of that. And just stay grounded, right? Mind the business that pays you. Um and you'll be good. You'll be good. Okay, we're gonna make it through like we always do. They always talk about the world ending. It ain't ended yet. They've been screaming that forever. Okay, so stay true to who you are and get grounded in this good earthly experience. Okay. All right. I said Neptune, Saturn, the Sun, and Chiron are in Aries when Venus enters Taurus. So I said, stay focused on your growth, good actions, and that will be good karma. That is nature's law. Okay. Um, nature law will be at play here. So get ready to see something you've never seen before. Okay. This is ancestral inheritance. This is karmic retribution. Okay. And then I also said Pluto is in Aquarius. And I brought up Pluto in Aquarius because it's trining Venus. Okay. So this is generational changes within the structure of the family. Okay. So I don't know about y'all, but I've been having a lot of family members having a lot of health issues. Like, and if it ain't health issues, it's something that's going to it changes their perspective on life, something drastically. Okay. So I hope I'm not projecting, but just be mindful of that with this trine thing, with this Pluto trining Venus. Okay, because that means it's gonna be certain things happening within the home, certain things happening within the family, certain things happening unexpectedly, generationally. That's going to be taking place, right? Because yeah, we know we the generational cure, we the generational healers, but it's a little more deep than that. It's a little more complicated than that, right? Yeah, they see us glowing, they see us doing our thing, but also they got to go through their wave of they awakening and they experience, right? It's not just about seeing us, it's them seeing themselves and not in a judging light, right? Like I said, this energy isn't excluded to anyone, and everyone is having their own awakening in some type of way, right? Everyone is detoxing in some type of way. Everybody is receiving clarity in some type of way, whether they awake or not, whether they quote unquote chosen or not, whether they NPC, whatever or not. Everybody's having some type of awakening, some type of confirmation, some type of revelation right now. And I've noticed that a lot of my family members have been going through that. Okay. So be mindful of that and just put out good energy, put out good energy. And keep lifting up your vibration at this time. All right. So I said generational changes within the structure of the family, the kids in your heart, tech, and I don't even know what I wrote here. Major shifts within the Gen Z. Okay. So, yeah, the Gen Z. I don't know why that was popping up. I just wrote notes. It's going to be something that happens within the Gen Z. I don't know if they going to have a huge awakening. I don't know if they're just super conscious and they don't give a fuck. Like they're just super nonchalant about what's going on because they came into this with the technology, right? Versus the Gen Y, the millenniums, we kind of got ushered into it, right? We watched the cassette go from the CD, go to the MP3, right? We could still see the vinyls, right? But we also seen like the MP3, like we were able to burn CDs and stuff, right? Versus the Gen Z, they was birthed into the matrix, like crazy, like it's wild, right? And then the older generation, they still, they're adjusted, but they're kind of engulfed in it now if they're in it. So it's gonna be something with the Gen Z that happens. I don't know if they're just gonna be like tired of it and want to revolutionize, like, or if they're gonna fall deeper into like psychosis, or but it's gonna be something up with the Gen Zs, y'all. Mark my words. All right. The generational healers that had to rebel against the norm will receive divine insights and rewards from within and without. Okay, so like I said, people who've been on a mission, being a generational healers, we will be receiving a lot of divine confirmation, a lot of divine rewards, right? And it's all going to come from within, right? And I say this because it doesn't always have to be the sense of getting something in return for doing something good, right? If you giving out the kindness of your heart, it should be just that. It should be no expectation. But the point that I'm trying to get to is, if you a generational healer, right? Let's say your family has, a bad thing with diabetes or some type of health issue. If you've been making it a point to take herbs so that way you don't get it, or if you had it and you healed yourself, that in itself is the reward. You healing yourself is the reward. Okay. So that's the way how I like to look at things. And then when you just stay in that gratitude energy, it opens up the door for a lot more things to come in. Okay. But yes. Also the moon and the south node is in Virgo. So this is healing the mother wound and old programming and illusions to receive the gift of the mother, the intuition. I don't even know if I should deep dive into that or not. I'll talk about it briefly, but it's pretty much self-explanatory, right? People always talk about the mother wound, the mother wound, the mother wound. Well, like I said, if you healing that mother wound, it should be you should be feeling a lot better. Your mother, whatever it is, whatever you're going through, whatever the generational thing is, right? It should be some type of fulfillment within yourself if you've been working on healing that at this time. Okay. And I've been noticing that too. It's been this mother wound, right? So being very mindful of that and continue to nurture yourself and continue to nurture that mother instinct, right? So, like I said, if it goes back to exactly what I just said, if you've been working on healing yourself, then that itself is the gift. Okay. And you unblock yourself from a lot of different things that have been placed on the bloodline due to these things, right? So let's say I'm just going to use myself for an example, right? I used to have anemia, real bad, hypotension, real bad. Okay. So I took it upon myself to get herbs so that way I wouldn't be anemic. Okay. So now I'm not anemic anymore, right? So now instead of me feeling tired and lightheaded and I can't do certain things due to low anemia, right? My anemia taking over my whole body, I'm able to be more active. I'm able to do certain things. I have more energy, right? And that opens up your DNA to receive more information as well, because your body isn't fighting so much to try to heal itself without the proper tools to heal itself. Okay. So that's, healing yourself essentially is the reward because you open yourself up to so much more. And then those gifts start to come online, like intuition, like clairs, like telepathy, like telekinesis, like all of these things that you can Google and go on TikTok and go on Instagram and go on YouTube and see everybody doing, right? The alchemist, right? Whether it's people doing root work and doing spells and that really works, or if it's people just working out in the gym and they got physical muscles and they not scrawny and weak no more. I'm getting visions of Wiz Khalifa, right? Wiz Khalifa then muscled up on us, right? So it's all of these different things just by taking accountability and being the change that you want to see at this time. Okay. I don't want to get too preachy, but like I said, if it resonates, it resonates. All right. Then I said Mars, Mercury, and the North Node are in Pisces. So keep focusing on how you communicate with your spirit to continue to heal your past. Okay. Heal your family's past. Heal your subconscious mind. And healing your shadows, healing your dreams. Okay. Because you might find the love of your dreams. This could be the love of your dreams. And it's not just a partner. This is with yourself, right? I never loved myself so much. Okay. And then that radiates out, and then that attracts people on that same frequency that value themselves at the same rate that you value yourself. You said, sis is touching my soul. Good. I'm glad it's resonating. I'm glad you're getting something out of this, because this was really, I wanted it to be centered in the heart, in the heart space, without fake bullshit around it. Right? Yeah, you're going to find the love of your dreams. The love of your dreams is going to come. They're going to come right now. It sound good. I don't want to do nothing that just sound good. I want to do something that feels good, that you resonate with, that's real. Okay? Because the love of your dreams should be yourself. And accepting yourself, like I said, regardless of what you look like, how you feel, right? I'm not feeling good today, right? I don't look my best, quote unquote, to my standards. To whose standards? Right? I'm in my natural state. That is beautiful. Right? Some people don't love themselves and they're not willing to accept themselves. That is the love of your dreams, when you fully able to accept yourself as you are. Accepting others as they are. Because you can't change no one. They have to want to make that change themselves. Okay? So yes, the love of your dreams, but it could also be the love of your dreams coming. Okay? I'm going to throw that out there. Hey, it could be. It could be. Okay? You might meet your twin flame. Okay? Your soulmate. Yeah, it could happen. In this lifetime, anything is possible. Okay? Also, daydreaming. Daydreaming has been a big, big thing. Okay? So being mindful of when spirit is trying to talk to you and communicate with you at this time. Okay? And then when I looked at the chart, it looked like a book. It looked like a book, and it looked like a tent. It looked like a lot of different things. So I'm just going to run down what the chart looked like to me. Okay? And it looked like a trash can. For one, it looked like somebody taking out the trash. Okay. So I said, taking out the trash. I said, it's one thing to clean up. I said, and it's another thing to take out the trash. Come on now. Because you can clean up the whole house, but you still got the trash bags in there. No, you got to take that trash out too. That's completing the whole cycle of cleaning up. Okay. And that's how a lot of us be. We would do all of this internal, but you got to also release it and surrender. Let that old shit go. Okay? So I said taking out the trash is one thing to clean up, but it also to take out the trash. Don't forget to take out the trash. An old chapter in the old book is closed. It is done. It is over. A old chapter in a old book is closed. It is done. It is over. We're not going back. You can't go back, even if you wanted to. Even if you stripped everything away, mentally, you leveled up. Okay? We're not replaying it. We're not repeating it. We're not going through old loops. No, no, no. It's over with. It's done. Okay? It is over. It is done for that new. For that new. Okay? For that new to come in. That new you that upgraded you. Those new neurons, right? That new upgrade. Okay? And then I said it looked like a tent. The chart looked like a tent. So this is getting in tune with yourself, going internal. And then it also looked like a star was in the chart. So getting in tune with your inner star, right? When I think about the sun, the sun is in darkness, right? In a universe, in a galaxy, if you will. The brightest star in the galaxy, right? But it's in darkness, just like our hearts, just like and when I say our hearts, say, oh, your heart's in darkness, it's engulfed in darkness. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about physically your body is your organs are in your body encased in darkness. We don't have our bodies aren't see-through. We can't see through ourselves. We aren't translucent, right? So your heart is engulfed in darkness, like a tent, like a star in a tent, going in to see yourself, going in to view yourself, going into that darkness to illuminate the light, to illuminate the star, to see yourself for who you are, for what you are truly. Okay? So I said the tent and the star is you. When you go inside of you, you are the star. Okay? You are remembering. You are empowered. When you go inside, you remember your power. That's what you're remembering. Okay? The cup is full. The cup is runneth over. Right? So this could refer to your emotions. It could refer to abundance. This could refer to new love. This could refer to new opportunities. This could you just being fulfilled within yourself. Okay. And I said it also looked like a hat. The chart also looked like a hat. So that always makes me think of a crown. It makes you think of a fez, right? Enlightening yourself, downloads, crown loads, uploads, washing your crown, protecting your mind, protecting your ori. Okay. And then I had did a meditation on this energy. And the first thing that I was getting was feelings are coming back. And that's so deep. Your feeling is coming back, right? As much propaganda, as much death, as much stuff that they show us on TV, we so numb, we so desensitized, right? But the more you get in tune with yourself, you start to get your feelings back, right? You started to feel again, feel whole again, right? Also getting full, right? Feel. We talked about the feelings and the feel, getting fulfilled again internally, right? Feelings are coming back, right? This couldn't be feelings for somebody starting to come back. I don't know. Okay, so be mindful of that. Okay. But I said feelings coming back. That old thing coming back. Okay. And what spirit is giving me is the way how you used to love yourself as a child. That innocence, the purity, your heart, right? Before the world, before the people in the world got to you, before indoctrination, before people who told you who you were supposed to be, told you what not to do, that innocence, that purity as a child, that feeling is coming back. That love that you have for yourself is coming back. You're letting your inner child play freely, letting yourself play freely, love freely. Okay. So that's the old thing back. And it may, like I said, this take it as it resonates. Okay. Because this could be, like I said, a past life lover. This could be a twin flame. This could be an old colleague. This could be an old friend, right? An old family member you haven't seen in a long time, an old spirit guide, right? An old ancestor, right? Presenting themselves to you. Like I said, never look at it from one stream. Look at it from all things. A surrender to receive it in its full capacity. Okay. But yeah, I said that old thing coming back. Okay. Got your mojo back. Okay. You got your swagger back. Yeah. And I love myself again. Yeah. So you got that feeling. Okay. You got that charge. Okay. But I said that old thing back. This is a fresh start for you. Clock it. This is a fresh start for you. So what do you need to do? You need to make sure you have discernment. That's it. All the spiritual training, all of this experience, be you, be your authentic self. Continue to love fully, openly, open-heartedly. This isn't a restriction on love and how, no, this is using your discernment. Falling deeply in love with yourself, unconditional love with yourself. If it's people that meet you along the way, if it's things that meet you on the way, okay. If you feel, you're going to know instantly. Nope, it's a no. Listen to it. Okay. Continue to build this relationship up with yourself. That's your first line of defense is yourself. Because something you don't want to be, oh, something told me not to. Well, you didn't listen to yourself. Who can you blame? Okay. It's a fresh start. And get ready and be open to receive everything that comes. Because I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of abundance of everything. Okay. And there will, like I said, discernment. When I wrote discernment, CERN kept popping up. So it will be, like I said, this false evidence appearing will, these fake portals they're trying to open up, this fake energy they're trying to conjure up, right? Nuclear talk and all this other shit. That's nothing new. Okay. So while we in the midst of getting in tune with the true love and authenticity of ourselves and source and the universe, they're going to be trying to instill fear. Don't let them take your joy. Don't let nobody take your joy. Don't let nobody take your peace, your love from you. If it gets too overwhelming, if you're overstimulated, cut it off. Cut it out. Okay? I said there will be fake news while ancient information is returning to you. What was once stolen is now returned. Ooh, he stole my heart. Well, you got it back now. Okay. You stole my money. Well, if you the bag, if you the abundance, you know you can generate any amount of wealth. Okay. My integrity. Right. You can't, hey, you can only allow. It's only what you allow. Okay. But I said once was stolen is now returned. So all of this generational, oh, the history and the Egyptians were white, and we know the damn Egyptians wasn't white. We know, I'm about to say Jesus, Lord, forgive me. We know Jesus wasn't white. We know Yahweh, Yahshua wasn't white. You in Africa. You can bear, they can, what? They can barely get a tan over here in California, let alone Africa. What? So all of the fake news, all of the fake propaganda, all of the colonization, all of them stealing our minds, stealing our hearts, stealing our integrity, stealing our history, stealing our power, stealing our gifts, all of that shit is being returned back to us right now. Ain't it a blessing? Okay, yeah. I like that. Spirit was popping. I was popping my shit on this one. Okay. What was once stolen is now returned. The power of freedom in um eternally, generationally. Okay. So what was stolen from you? Your power, right? You may have felt like your power was stolen. You may have felt like your freedom was stolen. You may have felt like something in your generation was stolen. This is where you take all your power back. Take everything back. The knowledge, the freedom, the sovereignty, the mentality, right? The sexual deviancy, right? They got a lot of things, a lot of chains they put on our brains. They put chains on the brains. They have to physically make us slaves, right? But we breaking them chains and we freeing ourselves by enlightening ourselves, by teaching ourselves, by healing ourselves, and many other things that we're doing. So what was once stolen is now returned. Okay. And then in my meditation, I seen a book open up. And when I seen this book open up, I got the chills. Thank you so much for the Cash App, Naomi. Gratitude. Gratitude. Sending you that love and light right back. Thank you. Okay. But I said, I seen a book open up and I started to get the chills all over my body. And when I got these chills, it was like two big waves of chills. Okay. So for me, as I'm tapping into the energy right now, this is something that was like, I'm getting in the book of life, in your book of life, that you have changed. Okay. And this is altering the Akashic records, right? You have altered your Akashic records, right? Certain things are destined, yes, but you always have the power of free will to alter things with your decisions, with your actions that you take. You always have a choice. And you guys chose to make the right decision. And sometimes that looks like doing nothing at all. Sometimes that looks like going above and beyond, right? You always have free will to maneuver through this energy. But when you do this, you alter different timelines in the Akashic records, your DNA, your memory bank, your genealogy, your generation, your bloodline, your lineage. Okay, with 11:11 on the clock. Okay, so it's gonna be waves, waves, waves. And what I'm getting is also there's gonna be two waves of upgrades during this time that we receive that we're gonna feel within our whole body. Okay. Then I seen the letter Z again, and that gave me confirmation on the Gen Z thing that I was channeling. Okay. And Z is a 26th letter in the alphabet. Two is all about values, structure, love, money, discipline, growth, wisdom, right? And then six is all about balance. It's all about beauty. It's all about equality. It's all about your health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, right? And when you combine those two, that's the eight, right? So that's breaking free of certain loops, certain cycles when you master yourself, when you get in tune with yourself, when you love yourself. Like I said, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. others too, be accepting of others as they are. I'm not saying fuck with everybody. You ain't gotta fuck with everybody, right? I'm not saying love everyone. We gotta love everyone, including our enemies, and love. No, meeting them where they at. Okay, that's the enemy, and they can stay over there. By all means, if you have to defend yourself, defend yourself. What mama told me, if somebody hit me, I got the right to hit them back. That's what mama told me. Okay. But don't go messing with nobody. Holla if you hear me, tribe. Okay. Then I also seen, so I seen the letter Z, and then I seen the number 7, right? So that lets me know that there's something God, like some gamma ray frequency, some divine interference that was going to be happening at this time. Maybe with the Gen Z, maybe the Gen Z gets to level up, right? Maybe people who's been being sleep get woke up. Okay. That 7 is that divine interference, that relationship, that divine justice, that balance. Okay. And then I seen a less than sign, right? So I'm still not sure why I seen a less than sign. Hold on, y'all. Let me try to tap in and see why spirit gave me this less than sign. Oh, okay. I immediately heard like the 5 percenters, right? That's the less than, right? It's the 85%, it's the 5%, the 15%, it's all these different percents. But yeah, the leveling up of the people who've been putting in the work, and the wake up call for the people who've been ignoring the signs. This will be that time. This will be that time period. Okay. Then I seen the book open up again, that same book, which I'm referring to as the Akasha, right? Or I'm hearing the Book of Souls, right? The Book of Scrolls, the Book of Scribes, yeah. The record keepers, okay? And when I seen the book and it opened up, I seen like a page that was like ripped out of the book, and it looked like somebody was like putting it back. Come on now. Because it's a lot of these books, it's a lot of these texts that be altered. Like I said, the fake history, the indoctrination, right? They don't want to tell us the true history. They don't want to tell us who we really are, but we already know, right? And we're getting more in tune, and we're getting remembered reminders of who we are, truly. Because we don't need nobody outside of us telling us who we are and what we can do and where we came from. Especially if you got ancestors alive, you can go ask your granny, ask your great great granny. Shout out to Top Cats, right? Get your genealogy done. You ain't got to ask nobody else who you are and where you came from, right? My mama and my grandpa said I was Indian. That's what they told me. You're Indian, you're native. I don't care what nobody say. You came from here. This your land. I said, okay. I was like 7 years old. I never forget it. My grandma had moccasins in the closet. My grandpa had cowboy boots and a gun and a cowboy hat. He from Texas. My bloodline come from Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. Okay. And it goes deeper than that. But don't let nobody tell you who you are. Okay. Hello. I'll be damned. Okay. But back, thank you, ancestors. Thank you, spirit. Back to the book. They were putting a page in the book, and I said something was returning. A page in the book that was ripped out. Okay, a page in your history book that was ripped out is being returned. Something that was, like I said, lost or stolen is being returned. This was then your memory bank, your lineage, your DNA, you're remembering, right? You putting the page back in there, you going out and go get it, you putting in the work, you being the healer, right? You being the medicine woman of the tribe, you being a shaman, you being a root worker, you being whoever you need to be to get the job done. Fuck what everybody else say. I came here on a mission. So what if it's different from what your mission was? right? We incarnated here with a purpose, multiple purposes, multiple missions. And we're very passionate about getting this shit done. I know I am. Okay. So, yeah. We returned that missing page to the book of our family tree. There was a branch broken off of the family tree. We returned it. We healed it. We fixed it for the lineage, for ourselves, for the future, for the past, for the present. Okay. For nature. Okay. I'm getting like this where we get back in tune with earth, agriculture, go back to the ancestors' way. Yeah, because the colonizer fucking up everything, the ecosystem. They rape the soil, rape the waters, rape the animals, rape us, right? They just pillage everything. They destroying everything. This is where we gotta do what we can to nourish ourselves and nourish the earth. Do what you can. I'm not saying put too much on your shoulders. What did I say, y'all? Do what you can. Okay. Because at the end of the day, like I said, you really don't want your enemy feeding you. Anything. You don't want to consume anything from the enemy, from your oppressor. What type of psychology, mental psychosis is that? And wonder why we sick. Wonder why we got the most diseases and heart problems and diabetes and mental psychosis and ADHD and autism, and the kids are sicker than they ever been. And I'm gonna leave that there. Then my ears started to go like in and out. Like it will be this ear ringing, then like going in, then this ear ringing and this ear going out. Okay. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I appreciate y'all. Sending you that love and light right back. Okay. Thank you. But yeah, I said something going in and something going out. Okay. And this was with the ears. This is with frequencies. This was like tuning, right? Getting in tune, right? Some people tapping in, some people tapping out, right? I also got like hemi-syncing the brain, right? So a lot of people getting activated on a whole nother level to transmute certain dimensions and timelines and astro project and astro travel. And this stuff ain't woo woo, or they have classified documents they still ain't dropped on the shit that I'm talking about, that people been talking about for eons, and they not gonna drop them because the real biggest science experiment is us. Okay. Okay. So we're going to be getting a lot of intuitive okay. We're going to be getting a lot of intuitive hits and a lot of crown activations at this time. Okay. Y'all can see what type of time I'm on. I'm naturally high right now. Okay. Because I love this shit. I love y'all. Thank you so much for being here with me. Okay. But I said a lot of intuitive hits, a lot of crown activations, and a lot of divine messages, a lot of glitchy things, right? Shit gonna be glitching, right? NPC's gonna be glitching. We might be glitching, like I just can't even speak, right? Light language coming in. It's gonna be a lot of technological glitches. It's gonna be mindful of the glitches, and glitches ain't always a bad thing. Like I said, in the matrix, deja vu, it's a glitch in the matrix. Yeah, that means something shifted, a timeline shifted, you shifted, you're upgrading. Okay. And sometimes, ooh, thank you, spirit, when you get around somebody you like, you glitch a little bit, you get a little nervous, around somebody I like. I might get the stuttering. Get a little bit too excited. I start tripping over my words or mixing words together. Okay. Because you're thinking too fast. Yeah, it might be certain glitches. Glitches ain't always a bad thing. Okay. You want to be a glitch in the matrix? Yes, you do. That's a good thing. Glitches in technology. Okay. Hackers, right? Decoders, deprogrammers, all of that stuff. So be mindful of that. Okay. Communication, lymphatic system, right? That throat chakra being activated, the lymphatic system draining, lymph nodes, right? I don't know why I'm getting like shit, aquatic things, octaves, people singing, communication, and breathing in the breath. Okay. The voice, the neck interference with that at this time. And during this meditation, I also seen like a bluebell. I seen a bluebell flower. And I love this because when the shape of a bluebell, right, it's like that down pouring type of energy, right? It also looks like the bottom of a woman's dress, right? Um, but the bluebells, right, flowers, those always represent like love, divine feminine energy, um, for me. And it also represents hold on, y'all. Yes, that always represents divine feminine energy for me. And then mushroom energy, because I broke down the mushrooms and the jellyfish and the UFOs and the ships and us and our correlation. I did that on my last live video. Okay. So I seen like a bluebell mushroom. Now, if you know, you know, that's going into plant medicine. Okay. But this will be a higher level of activation, and we receive through communication with ourselves, with higher self, with entities, with spirit guides, with angels of light, all of these different things. We're going to be receiving a lot of communication, a lot of disclosure and exposure at this time, and encounters. Okay. And this ain't just aliens, right? Like I said, this is everything. So be open. Okay. But I said someone is coming out and free falling. So when I seen this bluebell energy, then I seen like it looked like a woman came out of this bluebell energy, and then she started to like free fall. Okay. And I love that because it's a sense of being free, giving birth to yourself to be free, to fly again. You phoenix, you butterfly, you star being you. Okay. And then 16, because 16 kept popping up. Okay. So I said something will happen on the 16th. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure if this will be spiritual. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit saying this will be spiritual and physical. Something will happen on the 16th. Something will happen on the 7th. Something will happen on the 6th. Because what is going to happen is we're about to hit that what day is the 4/4 portal, right? The 4/4 portal is on the 4th. That opens up a gateway. Let me double check something real quick because I want to make sure I got my shit together before I say this. Okay, thank you, Spirit. So April 1st for me, that's the real New Year's. So this energy, this Venus going into Taurus is on the 30th, right? So there, we're gonna feel all this loving energy. We already feeling it now. Naturally high, naturally blissful, right? Love, divine interference, all these good things, right? So then we go into April 1st. April 1st for me is a real New Year's, like the astrological New Year. That's the real New Year's. Like how it's January 1st is the Gregorian calendar New Year. For me, April 1st is a real New Year's. April Fools, right? Why, April Fools for people who believe this is a fool. No, it's not. That's the alignment of the earth and the alignment of everything. Everything is given birth, the new rebirth of this earth. Okay. So April 1st, that's when things pick up, things heat up, things kick up. Okay. Then on April 2nd, we have the full moon. Okay, we have the full moon in Libra. So that's going to be, ooh, this is really like the portal opening up the door for all of these things, because it's Venus entering Taurus right now on the 30th. Then we have April 1st. That's the beginning of the real astrological new year. Then we have April 2nd, which is the full moon in Libra. And then April April 4th is 4/4, which for me, those synchronistic days are always portals, right? So 4/4, that's going to be a portal. 4/5, I believe that is Easter, right? Ishtar, Easter, Isis day, where the resurrection of the sun, right? And then after that is 4/6. Now it's picking up on 4/6 and 7. It's going to be a window, right? So from right now to like the 7th, it's a huge window open. It's a huge portal open where we're just going to be feeling these activations, feeling these this liberation energy, right? It's really like this freeing up of yourself, feeling back in tune with yourself, loving yourself. Everything I broke down, you really going to be feeling it, and you're going to be getting a lot of confirmation on this energy during these times, okay? And you already know I'm going to do a breakdown on these energies. I might go live, I might not. But I'm going to be really breaking down those energies because it's very potent. This energy is potent. This is like a potent portal of power. Okay. Pushing P. So yeah, that's what spirit was really giving me. That 16th, the 16th and the 6th, right? Because also the 26th. The 26th is when Uranus goes into Uranus goes into Gemini. Okay. So it's a lot with that 6, that 2, 6, that 1, 6, the 6 energy, right? The 666. We know that's carbon, and change and transformation and radiation and melanin and dark matter and primordial water. So plasma and gamma ray frequency. So it's a lot of things that's going to be happening this month, and we're going to get ready to watch a lot of things transform and terraform right before our eyes. I'm getting like tapped on my head. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of crown activations at this time. So just really embrace for change, okay? Because this is where things really start to take off in the year of the fire horse, okay? And it all starts with you because it's all in you. It's everything that you've been working so hard for paying off right now. It's that full circle moment on your journey. And we're going to reach a peak in spring. Yeah, we're going to reach a peak in spring when it comes to self-love. And then we're going to watch these things. Like I said, spring, right? What is a spring? We're going to watch things explode. We're going to watch things expand during this month. So I'll get more into that on my full moon reading and my 4/4 reading. But I just really want to say thank you guys so much, and I appreciate you guys so much for being here and watching this video and sharing energy with me. So yeah, that was my Venus in Taurus energy reading. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to the Soul Tribe. Shout out to the members. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please, when this video is over, I don't know, drop some hearts in the comment box. Okay. And if there's anything you may be looking for, products, services, all of those things are down in the description box below. And yeah, I love you guys so much. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. You guys are more than welcome. Until next time, y'all. Peace, wholeness, love, and light.